So, really, that first breakthrough, knowing that I could write things, and because these kids had the translators, they could type it in and kind of get the sense of where I was trying to go. That was a big breakthrough. And then the second breakthrough, when the young lady and I had the conversation as to why I was there, and then being able to explain that to her, then I could sense a little bit different dynamic in the room because of that. So it wasn't just a guy coming to teach us English. There was really something else behind that. And so, yeah, I think those two things kind of encouraged me, because I was discouraged after the first week. I was like, this was a mistake coming here. What am I doing here? And all that. But yeah, God gives us these little nuggets of encouragement when we start to get despondent and frustrated. He says, no, just I'm with you. I'm there. This is still me. And God says, I'm running the show here. You just keep on being obedient and do what I tell you to do, and everything's going to work out just like I want it to. So.
And you got that peace once you opened yourself up to do something different.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it peace, but it was more of an assurance, and just to keep going with it. I really wasn't even sure, as we got into the later stages of the ministry there, whether we were really bringing any value. But I just said, I'm going to do the best I know to do based on the direction as I read the Word and as I pray and as I try to perceive God's voice. And so that's really all it is.
Wow. How long did you stay there in Thailand?
We were in Thailand for 3 weeks.
Wow.
So.
Did you go as a team?
Yeah, there were 4 of us on the team. So it was myself, and then there were the couple from Kentucky, Charles and Evelyn Williams from Kentucky, and then another young lady from North Carolina. So those are the 4.
How did it come around? Did you do this out of your pocket, or did you get people to get interested in sponsoring you, or were there concerns of readiness, preparation on the front end?
Yeah, it was all self-funded. Since I really didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't feel secure enough to actually tell people what I was doing and to try to solicit funds. So I just said, I'll do this on my own and just see what happens with it. And the preparation was really just going through the lesson plan that we were going to teach while we were there. And then, of course, I had my Jonah Bible study that we had done. That was kind of my spiritual thing that I went through before I left.
Yes.
To make sure that I was spiritually prepared for the task ahead of me. And so I've taken that practice on every subsequent project. I do a 30-day preparation to help me get mentally and spiritually focused on the task ahead. And I find that it makes a huge difference. There was one trip that I didn't do that. I didn't do the preparation, and I could tell I was just out of sorts. My mind wasn't right, my spirit wasn't right. I say, yeah, never again. And from now on, I will always do the spiritual preparation and make sure that I'm in the right mindset and just have the right spirit as I go.
Wow. So after you accomplished the Thailand trip, was it just popping them one after another after that, or was there some story to tell about the in-between?
Yeah, there was a story, and as I told people about the Thailand experience, they said, oh, you went to Thailand? It's kind of like, well, why would you go there? Why not Africa? Why not someplace in the Caribbean? Why not something like that? So I got a lot
Something
of those
with
kinds
a beach.
of looks. Yeah, right. So, but I was excited. Once I got my notes together, I kept a journal the whole time I was there. And so when I got back home, I opened up the journal and looked through it, and I said, this was really a cool experience. And I did get excited about going someplace else. And I went back to that list of projects from the International Mission Board, looked for some other ones, and then about maybe 6 months later, one of the ministers at the Church Without Walls, Reverend Ricardo Archibald, he and his wife were going to Central America, Guatemala and Honduras, and they asked me to come along, and I said, sure, I'd love to do that. And again, barriers in terms of language and culture and kind of the uncertainty going into the unknown. But we went there. I did a vacation Bible school
Oh my.
in Jamaica, which was a very different kind of project. It was very planned and very organized, and it was with a group of 60 from other churches, and I was the only black person on the team, and we were ministering to black people in Jamaica. So that kind of brought some different dynamics there. So that was my first. That was my first time really dealing with a big group in terms of missions. And the funny thing there was the people on the team, being all Anglo, they had an impression of me, you know, black American, and they had never really dealt with a black person who was actually serving in a mission role.
Oh my.
So they kind of assumed, and like a lot of people, you know,